folks buying these used flooded vehicles with major problems. So I want to really declare some tips. I want folks to understand that they're going to try to clean these cars up. They're going to Armor All. It is going to look fantastic. However, when there's a flood, a lot of times in this trunk area, you're going to lift this up here. If you got a spare tire, lift it up. I want folks to look at this trunk here and look for a water line. Of course, this is not a flooded vehicle, but the idea is that if we've got water throughout a vehicle and they've tried to detail it, they may not go really deep, and I want folks to look for a water line.
It's a great point because, I mean, I just never checked this part of my car.
I mean,
absolutely.
Your wife sends you out to the trunk. Is that thing of, honey, go to the trunk? I don't even know how to open the trunk. One more thing, Pete, and I'd like to get a camera shot. It's all about the rubber insulation. There are clues, guys. These can be all nice and detailed, but if you release this rubber back, this is the seal to the inside of the cab, and if you see any mud or trace of water underneath this rubber, and that doesn't take much, just lift that rubber back, because, again, they're going to try to detail this, make it look good, mask and hide stuff. And if you dig underneath that rubber, so I want to come to the engine area, and also, now, look, if you get oil and water mixed, right? Let's say this car was in a flooded reaction, you've got water coming in, intake is really low, air box is really low, you possibly can have oil and water mixed. Now, we all know, I'm going to show you here.
Wait, are we going to do chemistry experiments this morning, Frank?
Don't worry, we're not going to blow it up. That's regular engine oil, but this is really critical because I've seen this. Now, if you get oil and water mixed and it goes in the engine from a flood, you can hydrolock a vehicle, but sometimes these guys are going to sell this vehicle, they're going to mask that, they're actually going to drain the oil and try and, as I get this open, and try and get rid of all that oil and water. Now, folks can check their dipstick. If they get any chocolate milk, what is that? That's oil and water mixed. Any remnants of that. Now, how do we tell?
For a second, I thought you had brought me breakfast.
I know. We just need some hash browns. It would be good, Pete. So we lift this dipstick up here. That's another way to check. Now, on this one, nice. This one's got what regular engine oil would look like right in here. But if this has got any oil and water from water getting in the engine, that's a no-go. That could be a really big problem. Pete, I want to show you one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because this is something that if someone were to sell one of these and it was a flood vehicle and they're trying to hide something, we always check the dipstick, but let's check the oil cap. And if this oil cap has any water and oil, which is going to look like this chocolate milk, that's a sign that there's moisture in that engine, and that's a big problem. Here's another one, because we don't think of it. Look at these headlights. If there's any moisture in this headlight, I've got one pulled apart here. We can get a nice camera shot. Now, this one is broken, but I want to show more importantly, these headlights have seals.
Wow,
look at
interesting.
That.
Frank, so much. Thanks so much. I have to. You're wrapping me.
I know.
Yeah.
We can keep going with flooding. I want people to be safe.
But this is really good advice. Thank you so much. Yeah, some great tips, because obviously you're not necessarily going to see this water damage right off the top.